So smartphone innovation in 2025 appears to be a two-step process. Step 1, bung a load of AI shenanigans in there, and step 2, make it thinner than a slice of supermarket ham. Unfortunately, Samsung already proved with the Galaxy S25 Edge that this isn't necessarily a winning combination. Cause sure, it was impressively slim and light, but the battery life was pure unfiltered arse. Pretty much every day this thing's in power saver mode before you've even seen away your pre-dinner pint of Pernod. Not to mention the fact it'll absolutely rinse your savings by costing over $1,000, so you'll probably have to replace that pint of Pernod with a bottle of Lambrini. And likewise, the new iPhone 17 Air is stupidly priced despite packing distinctly underwhelming specs. But if you really fancy a slender, lightweight mobile without spunking all of your cash up the wall, well, Infinix might have the answer. Because this skinny git right here is the Hot 60 Pro Plus, a budget blow that costs just $150 and yet is almost as ridiculously thin as that S25 Edge and sports a 5160 mAh battery. Sounds too good to be true? Well, let's check it out, and for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe, ding the old notifications bell. Cheers! So first, what do you actually get in the box besides the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus? And quite a lot of bloody stuff by the looks of it. So my sample comes with a 45 watts charger and a USB cable. You've also got a screen protector hide in the box, complete with a kit for cleaning all the gunk off your display before you chuck that on. And hey, Infinix has even bunged in a ribbed condom case to keep your shiny new smartphone safe from harm, thankfully without adding on much extra bulk. So let's start with a gander at the thickness, and the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus is 5.95 millimeters thick, just a terrapin's taint thicker than the S25 Edge at 5.8 millimeters. And of course the iPhone 17 Air just a smidge thinner again at 5.6 millimeters, though Samsung's going to try and outdo them again with the S26 Edge next year, which will be 5.5. But the fact that Infinix has gone for a curved screen on the Hot 60 Pro Plus does actually make it look thinner than its rivals. And indeed, I think it does have a Guinness World Record as the world's thinnest phone with a 3D curved screen or something. They're clearly giving out Guinness World Records for basically anything these days. I should get a Guinness World Record as the most boozed up tech YouTube twat. But as far as I'm concerned, the main reason for owning such a slender smartphone is the lightweight finish. The Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus is just 155 grams, pleasingly lightweight, compared with the 163 gram Galaxy S25 Edge. So the Infinix is actually a hamster's happy sack lighter. And those curved edges either side of the frame do actually mean it's pretty comfortable to wield one-handed, despite being a near 6.8 inch mega git. The only problem with the curvy screen is that screen responsiveness will be balked up if you are clutching it a little bit tight and your hand flesh strays on the edges of the screen like so. And of course the materials here on the Infinix phone aren't quite as premium as the Edge as you would expect at the far reduced price. What we've got here is a fiberglass back, and we do have a bit of Gorilla Glass 7i up front, which is reasonably durable. You do of course get that screen protector bunged in the box, and the Hot 60 Pro Plus is also IP65 dust and splash resistant, not quite as water resistant as its rivals from Samsung and Apple. Now to unlock this skinny wee bugger, you've got an in-display optical fingerprint sensor, not quite as reliable and dependable as the ultrasonic sensor on the S25 Edge because it just takes a basic 2D image of your print rather than a full-on 3D image. But you know, as long as your hands aren't mucky or moist or anything, it does the job. And then once you're in there, it's Infinix's XOS launcher slapped on top of Android 15, not quite up to Android 16 just yet. And indeed, while its Apple and Samsung shaped slender rivals offer many years of OS updates and security patching, I believe the software support runs out after about 3 years with the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus, so just bear that in mind. Got full Google services on here and all of the usual Google AI shenanigans, including a good bit of circle to search. Plenty of customization as well, although the always on display is a lie. It's not always on at all. What it should be called is always on as long as you're continuously prodding and poking the bloody thing. But XOS also has its fair share of worthy features, including a decent gaming mode packed to the tits with useful tools. And you've actually got yourself a proper notifications light around back as well, which is a rarity. But there's also a few bits of crapware stuffed on here when you first boot up your Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus, some of which can't be easily uninstalled. And despite its budget-friendly asking price, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus certainly delivers as far as the display tech is concerned. You've got a 6.78-inch AMOLED panel on here, and slightly bigger than the S25 Edge's 6.7-inch AMOLED. And you've got a 2720 by 1224 pixel resolution, so the Infinix almost as crispy as the Edge as well. You've got gorgeous inky deep blacks and nice poppy vibrant color reproduction, although sadly no HDR playback reported by Netflix for the Hot 60 Pro Plus. It's a nice bright panel as well, so clear visibility when you are knocking about outdoors, and good news for gamers because the Hot 60 Pro Plus's AMOLED screen maxes out at 144Hz refresh. So it'll be blinding for supported titles, although of course unlike the Apple and Samsung blowers, it's not LTPO tech. And you will have to switch up the display settings if you want to take full advantage of that refresh rate, because it's set to standard by default, which maxes out at 60Hz. You can customize the app refresh rate for your selected apps though. And Infinix's skinny sod also sports a respectable stereo speaker setup. It's not perfectly balanced by any means. That bottom speaker definitely got a bit more beef to it compared with the earpiece speaker up top. Yeah, even when you max out that volume, the clarity is still actually pretty strong. It doesn't get all distorty and nasty.
So should you actually go ahead and spunk out the best part of $1,000 on Google's Pixel 10, or say bollocks to that noise and save yourself a few £100 with this mid-range option instead?
And naturally, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus isn't as beefy as its similarly slender iPhone and Samsung Galaxy compatriots. You got MediaTek's Helio G200 chipset stuffed in here, but the everyday running is absolutely fine, and gamers will be happy enough with a bit of Call of Duty, PUBG, and other optimized titles, but I certainly would say stay away from the likes of Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves, the more intensive memory guzzling stuff. You'll definitely want to go more premium for the likes of that. But hey, that XOS gaming mode, miles better than anything that Apple and Samsung offers up, which is pretty much minimal. But where Samsung's Galaxy S25 Edge and I'm predicting Apple's iPhone 17 Air really fall down is the battery sacrifice. And that battery capacity has unfortunately shrunk right down. So certainly when I was reviewing the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, I found it was balls deep in low power mode by about 5 PM. Which is less than ideal if you're out and about and you want to, actually use the camera to take pictures and stuff like that, rather than just check your messages once every 3 or 4 hours. While Samsung's smartphone makes do with a 3,900 mAh capacity battery, Infinix has made no such sacrifices. You've actually got a 5,160 mAh capacity silicon carbon battery crammed into that extremely slender chassis. So no stress whatsoever with the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus. You'll happily make it through a full, long, intensive day. You won't have to restrict your usage and you'll still have some juice left in the tank by the time you're all tucked up with Teddy. And it even charges faster than the Galaxy S25 Edge as well. 45 watt fast charge support versus just 25 watts. However, another area where paying that premium price for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge certainly reaps rewards is the camera tech. And intriguingly, Infinix has slapped 3 lenses on the back of the Hot 60. Even though it sports just a single sensor, it's a 50 megapixel shooter using Sony's IMX882 sensor. There's bugger all ultra wide action here, certainly no telephoto or anything, that's just digital zoom, although you can shoot at 50 megapixel high resolution if you fancy it. And the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus is a perfectly fine, capable, everyday snapper. As long as the conditions are alright, you can capture some decent portraits. Some of my ambient snaps came out surprisingly well. And you won't see ridiculous amounts of saturation when the sun is shining. But of course, in more testing conditions like low light situations, the Infinix does fall down a bit. And the lack of flexibility may put some potential buyers off. But honestly, for a £150 smartphone, the camera tech's actually pretty decent. And if you like to shoot a lot of home movies on your blower, well, no worries. The Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus does top off at 2K resolution. There's no 4K option here, sadly. Can't handle that. And it is just 30 FPS. You do knock it up to 2K resolution, but perfectly fine for simple, shareable home movies. Maybe stay away from the low light videography. And around front, Infinix has slapped on a 13 megapixel selfie shooter, I believe it is, which again can record your lovely mug at up to 2K resolution, so pretty decent for your bit of vlogging or whatnot. Just got to try and keep your hand relatively still because the stabilization is basically non-existent. If you want things to be less shaky, you'll certainly have to knock it down to Full HD resolution, at which point you do actually have some sort of digital stabilization kicking in. And there you have it, my lovelies. That, in a tasty wee nutshell, is the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus, a considerably more affordable alternative to the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge and that iPhone 17 Air if you want something that's supremely slender, with the considerable added bonus that the battery life isn't actually complete bollocks. And of course, following on from Samsung's S25 Edge launch this year, you can expect in the coming months the floodgates to open and plenty of rivals to emerge. Apple's obviously just spaffed out its own copycat version. Samsung will be following up in the new year with the Galaxy S26 Edge if all the leaks and rumours on that their internet are to be believed. And then of course you've got the likes of Infinix also coming out with their own. I also covered the Techno version recently. And of course, yes, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus does come with some little caveats. The fact that you don't get the dedicated software support that you do with the likes of Samsung and Apple. You've got the less flexible camera tech, and of course the gaming performance is severely limited to just the likes of Call of Duty, PUBG, the more basic optimized titles. But if that's not going to bother you, well, you know, this is a great way of enjoying a supremely slender, lightweight smartphone, highly enjoyable to fondle and to use one-handed. And hey, actually use as a smartphone all day long without worrying about the bloody thing conking out before you've even had your pie and chips. So anyway, that's what this sad, bald old northern twat reckons. But what do you guys think? It'd be great to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. And have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everybody, love you!